Hey there, it's Jamie.
And Tyler.
On this podcast, we explore entrepreneurial stories from people that have just started
to people that have been there and done that.
We also sprinkle in helpful marketing topics and relatable life advice.
Following your passions and navigating this crazy thing we call life is a forever game. Let's dive in. Welcome back to another episode of the Forever Game podcast. And today is a Tyler episode. So I apologize to everyone that is here for Jamie. She is here. Hi, James.
Hey.
But it'll be a lot of me directing it because we're talking about something new and shiny that was new and shiny for me like 3-4 months ago when it first came out.
So you actually, how did you first find out about this? Because this is brand new to my...
It was on, so for everyone, we're talking about ChatGPT. And it's now been out since, it came out in November of 2022. And I remember immediately, like that first week in December, that's when the whole schools are freaking out because kids were using it to write whole essays and responses and articles and do research. And, like if you listen to this podcast enough, I was like, yes, awesome. Like dub middle fingers to some of the traditional school stuff. But obviously there's two sides to that story.
So did you see an article?
Yes, an article on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And
you always learn your stuff on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm, I'm a LinkedIn learner. And 5 days after it was released, so ChatGPT, for everyone that doesn't know, is an AI-based, it's an AI, an artificial intelligence that you can interact with using text. So there is a text prompt, and I am going to start my recording here. I'm going to record my screen. So if you want to go to any of our social media channels and actually see what I'm doing here, you certainly can. Because I'm going to...
So you're in just a standard browser.
Standard browser.
It's not like people need to go look for an app called ChatGPT.
Nope. You could go Google ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Or you could just go to our show notes because I included the link.
Everybody always goes there first for sure.
Yep. And so what you're seeing on the screen if you're watching is I just have the show notes pulled up. And I'm going to go to the actual website, which is chat.openai.com. And when you go to chat.openai.com, you essentially it looks like a search chat. Like there's a little spot at the bottom, a prompt where it says send a message, and it's just blank above that with some, Chat GPT, like examples, capabilities, limitations. And you can type in any prompt in there and ask it to do something, ask it for factual information.
Okay, can we do a slight pause?
Yeah.
Because you've created an account.
Yeah,
so
free
you're
account,
seeing
100% free.
Like how it lives.
Yep.
But you have to sign up. First. You have to enter an email address and then create like a little login.
Yes.
Then once you do that, you can use that login.
If you already have like Google login credentials, you can just click on that and it'll log
must
in
not have.
via your Google, whatever. And so you can, each of these individual conversations you're having with a chatbot that can do things for you. And it saves each of those chats, air quotes chats, in the left side of the screen, and it will give them automatic names, like AI generated names based on the opening parts of your prompts or your questions. So I'm just going to type in something very quickly. I'm going to say, since it's in my head, who are the Minnesota Wild? Because they play tonight at 8:30. They won game 1. And it immediately starts crafting a response. The Minnesota Wild is a professional ice hockey team based in St. Paul, Minnesota, USA. They compete in the Central Division of the Western Conference in the National Hockey League. The Wild joined the NHL as an expansion team in 2000 and have since become a popular and successful team in the league. The team plays their home games at the XL Energy Center, and their colors are forest green, Iron Range red, Harvest gold, and white.
This is kind of, for me, I'm thinking it's like Google on steroids.
It's 100% Google on steroids, where you don't have to go through the interface of searching something and then going through different sources. It's compiling that all for you. But that is one of the basic functions of what ChatGPT is. And so in this episode, we're going to talk about what it is, like some background on it a little bit. We're not going to get too technical because we're not smart enough and we're not developers of AI technology. And then we'll talk about some of the uses for it that we found and that we've looked at. And then some of the like downsides of it. And then specifically, we're going to talk about how you can use it in marketing.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
I'm just here. I'm along for the ride. I'm probably amongst the majority of our listeners that are like, what the hell is this? And how does it impact me?
Right.
So I've putzed around, but I know little to none about this.
Yes. So let's jump into it. So first, like I said, it is free. It was developed by OpenAI, which is a company. And actually, it was either this particular company or its parent company. Elon Musk was actually part of that company, obviously. And then he left. But he is actually preaching that ChatGPT is so good, it's scary good. And they are dangerously close to developing an AI that they may not be able to control. So that was his kind of warning when he experienced it and played with it. But it was released at the end of November of 2022. And the GPT part of it stands for Generative Pre-trained Transform, whatever that means. Fun fact.
Generative
Pre-trained Transform.
Okay.
And that's ChatGPT. The website again is chat.openai.com. And so the short-term impact, when this came out, like chatbots have been around for a while. You've experienced them with going to social media channels. You've experienced them on websites. You've even experienced the voice version of them when people call, or like, not people.
Yeah, I'm with people, and I mean, everybody
calls.
has Siri, or I don't want to say her name, the A word.
Yeah,
sitting in their house or whatever. So we're used to some kind of form of this.
And those are like, I mean, I don't even know the analogy to use. That was like the first ever TV that first came out in like I don't even know, the 50s, and what it looked like and the functionality, and then throwing on like a super HD VR headset. Like that is the leap between what you've used those for and what now this can do.
Yeah.
And so immediate impact. 5 days into ChatGPT's release, it was already up to 1 million daily active users.
What do you think that demographic, if you had to guess, of people
I think it was a lot of early adopters and just all the buzz from the PR and all that. Think about like the buzz and PR to a free resource that can be linked in an article or a post.
Yeah.
And suddenly that just went viral on all platforms, all digital, however many tech newsletters are freaking in the world, like we're all mentioning it and all linked it. And so everyone went there.
Yep.
So 1 million daily active users 5 days in. For reference, TikTok, the fastest growing social media platform we've ever seen. It took 9 months to get to 1 million daily active users.
That's a little bonkers.
Yeah. Crazy. And some of the immediate negative impact was schools were like, and you may have heard about this, schools were freaking out. Oh my gosh, how do we make sure kids aren't using this? How do we, use it in a productive way? Very, very polarizing. Some whole districts like outlawed it, where if you used it, you automatically failed or were suspended or whatever.
Nuts.
Yeah. And now like, I can see both sides because you want kids to learn skills. But, at some point, schools stopped teaching kids how to put horseshoes on horses. Like at some point.
So like the argument can be made for is irrelevant information being taught that kids don't even.
It's scary. And you might listen to this and think like, that'll never happen. But is it possible that writing, like longer form or shorter form writing, is just no longer a skill that's needed? I mean, I don't know, but remember this AI is going to continue to get better and it learns and gets better and more creative. And is there a human element? Of course there is, but we're getting like, when you use this, I encourage you, if you're listening to this, go and use it, try some things. And it's Yeah, it's weird. And then when it was published, there was also an integration that it was published with that allowed you to integrate the chatbot or the ChatGPT functionality into your social media chatbots or your website chatbots. You can get plugins that allow you to use ChatGPT as the backdrop, as the engine behind your chatbot on your website or the chatbot on your social media.
That sounds complicated.
And I did watch some videos of how to do it. It doesn't seem that complicated at all, actually.
Give us an example. So we wanted to integrate this ChatGPT into our 1017 website.
So
how would we?
It depends on the platform, but you get certain code, series of code that you can upload into your website if you're on that kind of a website where you can get down to the code level, or you can, and it walks you through everything, or you get certain export plugin links that you then go from ChatGPT, then you go into your website interface, the back end, and you find where the chatbot link is and you can put it in there. So then they have canned responses the same way that an artificial intelligence bot would. Yes.
It's just swapping.
But now it's extremely human. And yes, so it can be integrated. I haven't done it. We should do it. It'd be cool. Just an exercise to do and record it. Screen recording like I'm doing here. But just to show people, it is so we had, was it a month ago maybe? A
couple weeks for sure.
The four of us, the 4 1017 people were all just messaging each other after hours. And Coral messaged us hey, have you guys used ChatGPT? I had it do this thing. I don't even remember what the initial thing was. Yeah, she's so hip. She keeps us young. Doesn't she?
Yes. Yes, thank you, Coral.
Anyway, I don't remember what she initially sent us. And I was oh yeah, that's right. Because I remember I had kind of dove into it for an hour one time. Mm-hmm. And I remember why I stopped. I started using it a little bit and trying some things. And then it said ChatGPT is overwhelmed or unavailable or something. You have to wait because the workload was too high.
Sure.
And so then I stopped.
Of course, immediately
derailed
you.
Gone from my brain. Uh-huh. And then she sent that to us, and then I was up till 1 a.m. plugging stuff in. And one of the things that we did is I've always wanted to. We have a client, local client. They won't care if we say their name. Stacy's Nursery, the Angela and Laura, and I've always wanted to have their girls do some sort of music video. That's always been something that I thought would do amazing.
Yeah.
And so I just pulled it up, and I said, write rap lyrics about spring, flowers, and gardening. Enter. And immediately it starts crafting this rap that rhymes, lyrics.
Yeah.
And I sent it to Laura and Angela. And I was imagine if we did this. We're not going to do this.
You did send it to them.
Yeah. Imagine if we did this, but we're not going to, but imagine if we did. It would go absolutely bonkers.
Why are we not going to?
They're not sure that the girls would want to do it. And, it would cost money. And I think it would go viral for sure.
Yes.
Especially 3 weeks ago when it was we needed it to be spring.
I still kind of need it though.
Yeah. So. But it was 14 degrees. And so that spurred it on, and I kept randomly putting things in. And, we'll get into capabilities now. So what are some ways that people have used it before? And kind of the entry level ones are easy. You just tell it to write an article about something. You can say, and I've done this, is summarize the top 5 restaurants in rural Minnesota. And it just will start. It'll say, most people think of the Twin Cities. I believe I have it here.
Yep.
And
you've done a lot of
I've done a lot
plugging
of it.
in.
Yep, a lot of it. And I've had it write a business plan for different businesses, and it's very generic, but it would give you a start. If you were not sure about how to start a business plan or how to start an article, you could just plop that in and it will write it for you. And then you could go in and add specific details that are, that you know are true to you. Mm-hmm. It can also, if you just type in a website, you can say, make a QR code type in the website, and it will export a QR code for you. So you can use that wherever you want.
Kick ass. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
Yep. Yeah. Let me get back to my notes.
Yep. You can create an app through it.
It will do code writing as well. You can say, create an iPhone app that allows you to do this, this, and this, and will give you the basic code. Now, I don't know anything about code, so I don't know if it's actually real or good or whatever.
Sure.
But it's set up to do that. It's supposed to bring coding to the regular public.
Yeesh.
Yep. Crazy town.
Which is kind of cool. Like, that's just wild in and of itself, because the amount of money that is within the industry of coding.
Yes.
Because it's such a, like,
detailed.
It's a small, it has to be a small, niche of population that can do that.
You think about how much we come into content with code, whether it's just digital code, programs, on your phone, and how many people encounter it all the time versus how many people actually have the skill set to develop that code.
Yeah. I should have asked. I was with somebody this last weekend that creates video games, like learning video games. And she doesn't dabble in a lot of the coding side, but she does a lot of like the curriculum development and course development. Sure. But wow, how that could like impact that specific industry.
Right. Imagine, it would be similar to if you would have gone back to when printing presses were like high tech, and whoever had one of those, extremely expensive, hard to get, so very scarce resource. And if you had it, you had a lot of power over information and public thought and all of that. Imagine if every single person with an idea or a passion or a knowledge could then develop code.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like no longer a barrier. So that
we think. Yeah. Yeah. We don't know how good it is. As far as we know, it's a far better coder than either of us are.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
If you know more about coding and like limits.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Let us know.
Somebody that I feel like none of our podcast listeners are coders for some reason, but if you are listening and that's what you do, they should let us know if it's actually good.
Yeah, go try it. Go try something
what gets
simple.
Generated.
We don't even know what a coding prompt would be.
I don't know what looks good.
Yep. One thing that I jumped into immediately that night when Coral reminded me was menus. Like I put together, because we always struggle at our house, like, what are we going to have for supper? Damn it. And then it's Sunday and we need to order groceries for pickup. And we're like, well, what are you going to have this week? And I'm like, I don't know. I
can't think of a single thing.
You're asking me to plan dinner?
Tyler's like, okay, we'll have wings on Monday. We'll grill burgers on Tuesday.
Tacos. It's always like tacos, some chicken breast of some kind.
Yeah.
Or chicken wings or grilled chicken, whatever it is. And really just, that's it. And then like pizza,
Oh, you need to expand. ChatGPT is going to be good for you.
So I just wrote in there, put together a detailed weekly meal plan for a 39-year-old that wants to lose some weight. And it instantly starts Monday, like 1 ounce of mixed nuts and every detail. For snack, it gives you the 3 meals, snacks.
Based on what you want your daily caloric intake to be, probably.
It just guesses.
Or it just assumes a certain...
And you could put in more information into that prompt too. So once it spits all of that out, you could say, increase the amount of protein.
Yeah.
Enter. And then it would redo it all and increase the amount of protein.
Yeah.
Or calculate the calories daily for these meals. Enter after it's done all that.
I want to figure out my macros based on my age and weight and lifestyle.
Right. And then you could go bang and do that. So, and it will give you the list of all the foods and meal planning. Then you could say, eliminate peanuts or eliminate certain allergens or add something. And then you can say, after that spits out another weekly adjusted meal plan, give me a shopping list to have enough for all of this. And then spits out the shopping list so you make sure you have enough ingredients for every single meal for the week.
That is
Isn't that
smart.
wild?
And then boom, I go over to my grocery shopping app. Enter in.
And those integrations are going to happen.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense that those integrations with your local grocers that have the like online ordering pickup, you'll be able to just export it in a way, upload it in a way, or might even be a login so you can sign into your, your ChatGPT account on their system.
Yeah.
And it just uploads, gives you, ding, here's all of these that match up. Bye. And then you go and pick it up.
That sounds badass. I don't do the online grocery shopping thing, but eventually I will.
Yes, you
It's
will.
only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time. The amount of time it saves us weekly is, and stress.
Yeah.
Like
nobody wants to go to the grocery store to shop for a family of 5.
Well, and Angie and I, before we had kids, or even when we had just a couple really young ones that were just like car seat or ride in the cart, it was like something to do.
Yeah.
We'd go for a couple hours and, walk around until the kids shit their pants or start crying or something, and then
make a scene.
Yeah. And then go home. Got some stories about that. Yeah. And then that led me to, okay, well, the food side, what about the workout side? Mm-hmm. So then I said, develop a workout plan, the same thing for a 39-year-old that wants to lose a few pounds that has bad knees. Enter. And it spit out all of so cardio, strength training, fat burning exercises. It spit out versions of those every day.
Yeah. You should enter in your body weight percentage.
You could do that too. I don't want to. Could. It would mean I would have to find it out, which no one wants to do that.
That's really intriguing to me.
And then so I made adjustments to that workout plan where I said, I don't have access to free weights. Spits out a new one. So it does all body weight exercises. Or you could say add cycling or add this or subtract that.
Yep.
So you can customize all of these. And then again, it saves each of these.
I hope you're showing the people what your new workout plans are. Are you still screen recording?
I am screen recording, but I haven't gone to my workout plan. So let's go to the workout plan. Workout plan. Yeah, unfortunately, haven't looked at it in a while.
Haven't looked at it.
The mistake I made and the advice I will give people is every time you're going to search a new subject, in the top left of your ChatGPT interface, there's a new chat button. Click on that before you start going down a rabbit hole. Every time you get to a new topic, click on that. Because now, my workout plan is in here somewhere. Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe spare the people of that then. Yep. You're not going to find it.
Yes. I mean,
let's be honest, you may not even use it.
100% have never used it once. So that was clearly not the barrier. Oh, here I did find it. Here's a 5-day workout plan for a 39-year-old who doesn't enjoy running. This is for my wife. For a 39-year-old woman who doesn't enjoy running. And it just spits it all out every day. Day 1, strength training with details. Day 2, yoga with details of yoga. Day 3, the HIIT, high intensity interval training.
The HIIT.
Day 4, Pilates. Day 5, circuit training. And it walks through all the details of each of those.
Angie, are you getting after it?
Definitely not. And then I wrote,
she doesn't listen to the podcast.
I wrote, create a 5-day meal plan for an adult male looking to lose fat. Day 1, breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner. And it gives all the details.
Okay, so we're down a rabbit hole about how Tyler could really use this tool to improve his life.
But what we've realized is, and we've known this a while, it is not access to resources or information.
That holds people back.
It's motivation and discipline. Yep.
No doubt.
Okay.
The last usage that we also were dabbling with was generating ideas. This is directly related to our work.
Yes.
We're going to be eliminated from the equation. No, I'm just kidding. But generating ideas for weekly posts for a specific industry or a specific business, or write me some captions because I hate writing captions for a photo of this.
That's right. So I put in develop a social media plan for.
Did you do a nursery too?
For a local nursery / gardener, daily social media posting plan complete with copy And it went through, it suggested like certain discounts and promotions, but it said like, it'll say like include photo of pretty flower. And then here's the caption,
Yeah.
you know, and
they were pretty good.
They were very human.
Yeah.
And relatable.
Yeah.
And
like at the very least you could take and then just make a few tweaks to feel like it's in your brand's voice and boom.
Exactly. And
or just use it for idea generation, because we all know how that can be a barrier. You just run out of, you're like, I don't even know what to post anymore. We're just doing the same thing over and over again. And
yeah, and it will give you a structure. You can do it every day for a month. You can do it weekly. So I found the one here. So I initially asked it to put together a daily social media posting calendar for a retail flower shop. And it spit out what you should do, you know, or could do Monday through Sunday. It'll say something like share a photo of a peaceful or serene flower arrangement, post a flower related inspirational quote or poem. So it's actually giving 3 options for Sunday. Promote a custom flower arrangement service for special events or occasions. Then it says, remember to keep your content engaging, informative, and visually appealing to attract and retain followers. Good luck with your social media efforts. That's what it said. And then the next prompt was write copy for each post. And it says, sure, here are some examples of copy you could use for each of the posts that are already listed. And one example from Monday was, you know, photo of a colorful bouquet. And then it has in quotes, brighten up someone's day with a burst of color, ! Tag a friend who could use a little pick-me-up and brighten their Monday with a stunning bouquet from our shop.
So it's like it's already intuitive enough to know that this is how you play the game of social media. You have to, like, that drives engagement, which is therefore going to expose your post to more people.
Right.
Just fascinating
and
stuff, really.
Yeah, and encouraging the engagement. So here's another version of it. It says, here's a quote. It's a fun flower-related fact. Did you know the peony is often called the flower of riches and honor in Chinese culture? ? Share your favorite flower-related fun fact in the comments. And
man, that would get flower people pretty jazzed.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So I mean,
so basically,
there's no excuse to not know what to do.
Yeah,
it's all in the execution.
Yep.
And
I'm going to do this I should do this for all of our clients, but I, of course, was like, I need some new inspo for the brewery.
Right. So along with this, there are obvious downsides you've probably been thinking about as you're listening to this. Like, what happens to copywriters, students, coders? And the reality is a portion of what they do has been devalued. And not because it's not good or not important, but now you can do it for almost nothing. Mm-hmm. And the masses don't know about it yet. The masses have not done this at scale, in a practical sense of replacing blog writers. But you could, if you're starting a blog today, you could theoretically just use this for every blog entry. Mm-hmm. But there's one caution.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, the most obvious red flag is plagiarism. Like, the argument for that, using ChatGPT to be your internal copywriter.
But what would be wrong with that?
Or if you're a college student and you're like, all right, I'm going to write a paper, but I'm going to have ChatGPT. I don't like that name because I can't spit it out.
I know,
but
it is awkward.
I'm going to have ChatGPT write me a paper about the Vietnam War.
Yep.
Then what? Like, that's the same as using all of the Googles and getting in trouble with the plagiarism.
Totally. And that is the downside is at the outset, it seems like it would replace certain activities that students need to do to practice skills, and critical thinking. And I agree. Is it possible that you could use it to correct your writing? Yes, you can actually copy and paste your entire paper in there.
Find errors.
And say find errors or repetitive words or suggest new ideas.
Yeah.
Or new resources. And it will do that stuff as well.
Kind of reverse engineering.
Yep. But
that's cool.
The threat of, it's not even copyright because this is open and free. And just for testing, I entered in the same prompt 3 different times when it came to like social media posts or a short article, a summary about something, different all 3 times. Exact same prompt.
Oh, really?
I put in and it was different every time it responded to me.
That's kind of nuts.
Yeah. So it's not like if someone just puts in, like asks ChatGPT, what is ChatGPT, that it will respond exactly the same every way. It won't.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of mind-blowing to me. I can't even fathom.
Yep. So the direct cause and effect or input output that we associate with analog technology or even digital technology, like if this, then that, this is different than that. This is an artificial intelligence that is like responding differently, evolves differently. Mm-hmm. So, we don't necessarily know the effect on coders. Coders would know that better if they're being honest with themselves. But copywriters, I would be nervous. I know that if there's anyone listening to this, they don't like it. They're probably emotional about it. But find a way to differentiate yourself. But being a freelance copywriter for hire, it's only a matter of time. Yeah. It just is.
My sister does that, but she's also like an aspiring author. So then I'm like, how could authors use this to make their work better?
This is my prediction when I was going down the same line of thinking is morally, let's say you have an author that is already established or maybe isn't, bursts onto the scene with some amazing fiction, nonfiction, educational book, whatever. And then it comes out that they just used ChatGPT and had a whole bunch of series of prompts and it wrote it all for them. Is that bad?
I would think so. I don't know. I mean, you want to think that the person's work is theirs, you know?
Right. But is it their work or is it not? Like if I went and just Googled a whole bunch of information, compiled it all into notes, and then wrote it all myself, it would be in my voice. I still pull the information from a whole bunch of different places. Mm-hmm. Is the act of synthesizing the information and writing in my own words, is that where the value comes from? Or is the value...
Because I think that's the skill.
But is the value received by the people any less if they didn't know? If they go and buy this book for $20 and it has a great effect on them or they really enjoy it, have I not still like given them that value? So this is what I was like wrestling with.
That's
what will happen.
That's a rabbit hole.
You know what will happen is someone as an experiment will craft some book or music or something. Yeah. And then it'll be popular and they'll say, hey, just so you know. They'll come out later like a big
This
gag.
song was written by ChatGPT.
Yes, exactly.
And then the world will get pissed.
Yep. And some people will care, some people won't care. And again, this is just in text.
Until it gets banned. Like, is there any chance of this thing getting...
No way. Maybe in certain areas and certain micro areas of certain schools or certain whatever. Yeah. But, I mean, I don't think you can stop it. I don't know how you stop it. Because it was already valued at $30 billion, ChatGPT. It's been out for, 5 months?
Wait, did you already say who it was created by?
Yes, it was created by OpenAI is the name of the company. Oh. And it's valued at $30 billion right now. Like instantly, from 0 to 30 billion in 5 months. So you tell me they're going to like slow down? Monster. And there are other competitors. Google has their own. Yeah. There are some other ones. And the race for this... Again, and this is just in text. Mm-hmm. I remember when ICQ and MSN Messenger were like all the rage in the 90s. We were messaging each other, just text, no audio. Mm-hmm. And we were like, this is, couldn't get any better than this. And now you have Snapchat with video. You have live video. Yeah. So what happens when all of the AI voices that you were hearing on the phone, those just keep getting better and better and better with this as the back. And then music and, digital animation when it comes to like watching a video and you're not sure, is that a real person or is that a digitally animated person? And so it's...
Do you think that's in our lifetime?
100%.
Yeah?
Yeah, not even a question.
Okay.
I think we're 5 years away from you watching something and having no way to tell, is that a real person that said that? Like, is that the actual president that said that? Or was that just a fake, they took the president's likeness and they made them say that and then shared it.
Okay, that I can see.
Yep. So it is there. And that is the last thing I have on obvious downsides is false information. The false information potential from this, because things are so well written, things seem true. And in fact, when I had mentioned earlier, like I had said, summarize the top 5 restaurants in rural Minnesota. And I hit enter. And it's like, they had this article, like an intro, it listed the 5. Mm-hmm. It gave the name of the restaurants, the location, their special menu items.
Yeah.
And 3 of the 5 didn't exist. They have never existed.
Really? I thought when you sent that to us,
it was made up 3 restaurants
really
in real towns, but have never existed. But like I didn't know that. I just thought it was real, and I didn't know that was false. I posted it on LinkedIn. I was like, "Hey, one of my first prompts for ChatGPT," and I posted the whole article. And people responded. They're like, "I live in Sauk Center. There's never been a restaurant called this before." I would love it if there was. It was like fire roasted pizza. Like, we've never had that here.
That's fast. Funny. So it gets shit wrong.
Yes, and it even says that. Like, it will guess and that stuff. So making sure you verify information when you're using it. Mm-hmm. The biggest positive impacts, in my opinion, number 1, when it comes to writing, is time. Anything that saves people time
is valuable
in the actual research, the planning of some content, or the planning of a meal plan, or the planning of whatever, like we mentioned, more utility based.
Think about like travel planning.
Yes, you can also say put together like a travel itinerary for going to New York City or somewhere else, and it will suggest all real things. At least I'm assuming
as far as we know.
Yep. And then the actual writing. So lots of time there. The chat bots are really, really, really good. Even having the conversation with ChatGPT itself in its own interface, it's so human and that it's crazy. And then the last one that we think could be, but we don't really know, is on the coding side. Like, potential impact. If that is a real thing, the potential impact could be really cool. But use it for your planning, use it for social media ideas, use it for copywriting if that's not your thing.
Yeah. Idea generation.
Yep. It will overtake Google as the go-to search tool. Instead of Google that, like, you'll go to ChatGPT. That doesn't sound the same.
I know. I can hardly say it. Like, it doesn't roll off.
And
ChatGPT.
Yep. People will go there and say, it's excellent at solving math, like very detailed calculus. Students have told me like they use it to put it in there and it shows every single step that they're supposed to make.
That would have been helpful in my college years.
Yep. So that is an episode on ChatGPT, and it's just beginning. Go check it out for yourself. It really
is. Like, this is so early, but it's developed so quickly. And who knows what's going to happen next?
Every second right now, people are searching on it and requesting things, and it's learning based on feedback every second of every day. And not just one singular conscience that's learning. Think it's like infinite consciousness is, of AI learning all at the same time.
Yeah. Freaking wild.
Uh-huh.
The universe is out of control.
It's you're almost 30.
It's getting weirder.
The speed of change is now you're full. Like, you can't take anymore. You're starting to get comfy.
So that means you need to push yourself. When you're feeling comfortable, you just got to embrace new things.
That's happened with me for music only. Like, I have no interest in hearing more music. I'm full. I don't care. I have so much stuff I like. I don't need any more. But when it comes to like this kind of stuff, I love this stuff. So.
Yeah, I was just thinking about what other content we could make around this. Like,
If you
we should have it in real time. We should do like some of our 1017 stuff.
Yeah.
Have it like do a week's worth of posts and then we follow it verbatim.
Right.
And just see what happens as like a little test.
Yep. So if anyone wants to start farm to table wood-fired pizza business in Sauk Center called The Farmer's Daughter, it's open. You can go do it. But it doesn't exist. It's not real.
I was just thinking I've been to a restaurant called that, but maybe it was the...
Because I went and Googled it after that
table.
guy said that, and I was like, oh, wait, it's not real.
Yeah. Well, good to know.
All right. Well, everyone, hope that helped. I hope it was interesting, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah. Let us know your crazy ChatGPT stories.
Yes. All right. Peace.